Hi, everyone. Welcome to Single Life Today. My name is Linda. I am the Connection Guide. And today we have Suzanne Blons, who is the shaman, the beauty shaman, and she is the beauty expert for the stars. She has been with us before. We love her. She is fantastic. And today she's going to talk to us on how to do sun-kissed look without the sun. And I, for one, am super excited about this. So take it away, Suzanne.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Dan and Linda for being here. And whoever else ends up joining. So I have like no makeup on, and I did this on purpose because I thought if we're going to experiment with this stuff, I can't have a bunch of makeup on. So do you both have like specific questions when it comes to bronzer that you want to ask, or I can just talk about it? I kind of want to hear if you guys have any questions specifically before we start.
Which ones do I buy?
Okay, good. That's a good
That was
question.
my question too, is, because I use a powder, but is a liquid better? Is there a combination? How do I use makeup with it? So it's
Right.
kind of the whole start from the very beginning. I mean, I think I can speak for myself, but I'm a beginner at this.
Right.
So whatever you can start from the beginning and take us right through it would be awesome.
Awesome. Well, that's the big question, is cream or powder. I've actually written whole articles on this because, there's benefits to a cream, there's benefits to a powder. I think the best way to describe the benefits of each is if you have dry skin, then a powder, or hold on, let me get my thoughts straight. Yes. If you have dry skin, is it oily skin? Okay, dry skin is better with a powder. Not good with hold on, let me get it right. If you have oily skin, don't use this one, the cream, because your skin already has a lot of oils in it. Most older women do not have oily skin, but if you have a lot of oils and then you try to put this on, it's not going to stay. So that means this is going to be better. The powder is going to be better. If you have dry skin, the opposite is true. So I think go according to your skin type, also to what you like. Like I have combination skin, so it kind of is like, well, whatever I want to do. So I think it's also what you prefer working with. Like if you really like working with creams, if you're more comfortable, I know people who just love creams. And so everything they have is a cream. I would say do this. I love working with powders. I have a lot of powders, so I'm very comfortable with this. So, I'm not totally answering the question. I'm saying it really does depend on you, your personality, and also your skin type. And also you want to find one that's going to like not look orange, right? You put some of these on and they just look like, you look weird, right? You go to the grocery store and you look like a lunatic. So I think staying away from lunacy is part of my like focal point here.
Thank you.
I don't want to look crazy. I don't want anybody else to look crazy. I think this one right here that I have is really good. This is called Face Atelier, Ultra Sheer. I don't know what, I can't read the rest of it. I'll probably have to get my glasses out. But this is a cream bronzer, and this is called, it's number 5 Ultra Sheer Bronze by Face Atelier. So this is not expensive. I mean, you can get really expensive ones.
Suzanne, how do you determine what color to get? Like how dark or light, or because there's so many different shades?
That's a good question. So I would say for most Caucasians, you want to go, for anybody, you want to go about 1 to 2 shades darker than your skin. If you go much darker than that, you're going to get into the orange family. Like if you get into being, if you're Latino or, Black, and you're wanting to add a little bit more bronze, it can definitely be, you have to get into the more orange family so that it doesn't turn on the skin. So I would say, look for that when you go for these. Now this one, I want to say there wasn't that many shades to choose from for this, which I think is pretty good. That's right. Because there shouldn't be, right? If you're really, really pale and you go 1 to 2 shades darker, if you kind of stay within that scale, there really shouldn't be that many. But that's kind of rule of thumb. And one of the best ways is just to try it and leave it on for a minute, because sometimes the oils in your skin and the pH in your skin can change the color of something, and it can turn, like I say, go more orange, or I don't know what it's going to do. It depends on your pH. Some people's pH is really off. And I can tell when I start making someone up what their pH is like, because whatever I put on them is automatically going to just start changing. It's kind of crazy. But I find this doesn't change on me. It holds up really well. So I've worn this for days at a time. So I actually haven't used this on talent. I just use it on myself. So does that answer your question?
It does.
Question.
Go ahead, Ann.
Question. That's Face Italia. Is that Italia?
So it's Atelier.
Atelier. Oh, okay.
Atelier, oui.
Okay, Face,
Le français.
F-A-C-E,
Sorry.
Face, F-A-C-E.
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I don't know where you can get this. I got this at one of my professional places that I order from, so I can't actually say, oh, go to Ulta and you'll
Okay.
find it. I don't know. You're gonna have to do a little bit of research to find it. I just know that I like this brand and it works fine. So that's all I can say. Now for the bronzer, for the powder bronzer, this is my favorite. This is Bobbi Brown. If you can see that, sorry.
Yeah, I used to use Bobbi Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the color. So it's kind of a reddish. I use this on a lot of people who sit in my chair because it's a really good white person color. You know, you can come within like the spectrum of Caucasian and it works well. And because I live in Colorado, like everybody's like 90% of the people I make up are Caucasian. So so anyway, this works really great for that. And this one is medium. So I have this in medium and in dark. I think I have one other color in this. And I actually have a powder. Hold on, maybe I can find this. Maybe I can't. If you guys want to see this, what I'm about to explain, I can find it. So there's also, you can get a bronzer with a powder bronzer with iridescent qualities to it. So this one does not. If you can see, this one is really matte. And I prefer matte actually when it comes to this because I deal with on-camera talent. So I can't put somebody in front of a camera with a bunch of shine, right? Like glitter, and not glitter, but you know what I mean? When they have those little shiny bits in them, it doesn't work. And I think that's one of the things that's kept me a little bit away from using this on camera talent because it does have a bit of a shimmer to it. Let me just put some on my hand. And you can see.
And when would you want to use something with shimmer? Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful.
Is there a reason why you would want that shine?
I've seen, I think kind of in everyday life, it can look really pretty. Because as you're walking around, the sun hits it and you get a nice little shimmer and it's very pretty, you know, and I like glitter. I'm a girl, I like glitter. So I think it can be really beautiful. And I've actually put this all over my face and I haven't found the shine to be too intrusive, or it's not like, oh, I look like a light bulb walking around. Like it's actually pretty fair. I mean, that on my hand, you could really see it, but you know, if I put that on camera talent, it's a little bit of a risk because the camera is going to pick that up a lot more than the naked eye. That's just the rule of cameras. When it comes to anything shiny, it just automatically picks it up a lot more. So I think that's one of the reasons I stick with powders on camera talent. But I've actually used that on brides because brides want that. Like they want to have a little glimmer and, you know. But in any case, this one, if you don't want shine. And then I also have a powder with shine. Again, if you want me to find it, I can. I'm pretty sure I know where it is. It's in my kit. It's over there. But that's like a warm bronze shade. It's a little bit more yellow than this, a more goldeny, but it has glimmer in it. And I've done whole videos using that one. And I think it's really pretty. Just depends. Yeah, again, it's you, right? Do you want glitter? Do you not want glitter? I do think as we get older, sometimes the glittery bits can sink into fine lines. I've noticed that on me. And so I think it's something to be really aware of if you use too much glitter and put it on and it, like you notice it sits in your crow's feet or something like that. And it's not so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine has I'm just looking at it. It looks like it's got little specks in it.
Well, the one that you showed me didn't look too bad though. Like that, they looked really small and fine.
Yeah. It's not horrible.
Yeah. It doesn't seem horrible to me.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, cool. Do you guys have any questions about that bit? No.
The question that's a little, it's not just on your face. I noticed that when I'm watching your talking heads on TV,
right,
and the actresses come on and they show as much skin as they can get away with, and their skin just shimmers, you know, and I'm saying, what are they putting over their whole body that their skin just looks like it's almost marble? I mean, it's just fantastic. What are they using?
So you can use body paint. Body paint. I actually have some down here. It's Westmore. I mean, there's different companies that make it, but Westmore makes it. Oh, here we go. So this is the box for it.
Wait, whoopsie. Westmore Beauty. Okay.
So
really,
huh?
For your whole body?
For your whole body. So you can, so if you, like I was watching the Oscars and Halle Berry came up and had her,
Oh,
you know,
oh my God.
she's beautiful, right?
Oh,
But her
God.
skin was like absolutely not a mark on it. And I thought that is really good body paint. Like, I wonder if they're using Westmore. I mean, I know this industry, so I can look at it and go, wow, that's really well done. Or she had like a spray done, like spray foundation done all over her body, which you can also do. But body paint works really well. And then if you already have tanned skin, you can also use baby oil on top before you go on camera, and that'll make it have that lovely shine if you don't want to like paint everything up. But that means you have to have pretty even skin tone, which none of us do. And look at me, I've been out in the sun, you can see my suntan and stuff. So, I think those are two of the ways that they can do it. And you can also do the body tanner or body paint, do powder on top of it, let it set, because it takes a bit of time to set. And then you can take like loose, shiny stuff. I'll show you some loose, not loose.
Anne, are you going out on the red carpet?
No. I'm just at 76. That's enough right there. Going out the door to go to Star Market. Enough. Okay, at 76. Okay, that's my red carpet.
This is kind of shiny. This is a brick. So you could take this or something more shiny than this and use it with a brush and just dust it over people, and they'll automatically get that lovely shine.
Oh.
So, there's different tricks to it, but yeah, the Hollywood people, they got it all figured out, man.
Oh God, it's disgusting.
Yeah. It is. It makes us all feel bad. We look at them and we're like, why do they look so good? It's because they have millions of dollars to spend on this crap.
Because they have somebody like you.
Well, they do. I mean, I don't really work with Hollywood people, and I don't work with them on purpose because I just can't stand it. Like, the whole like intense stress that they have to be under all the time for how they look is like, oh, I just prefer not to. I tend to work with people who are famous because of something they've done. Like, they're famous because of what they've done, but like they've written books or they're speakers or they're not quite as obsessed with their appearance. So they're not driving me batshit. I mean, there have been ones even in that case that have driven me crazy. I'm just like, please get out of my makeup room. Like yeah. So, okay, good question. So let's go on to how to use it. Does that sound good? Anybody have any more?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to use the powder. So Linda and I I keep calling you Donna because I have a friend named Donna. Linda and I were talking about this off camera, but she was saying she just kind of uses it, and sort of puts it all over her eyes, and it's true. Like you can kind of go crazy with this stuff if you want to. Like my face is slightly lighter than my neck because I do sunblock, right? Not every day. I'm not that good about it, but when I go outside, I definitely ride my bike or run or something. I definitely do. So the first one we're going to do is I'm going to do like one side and then the other of, this is just my everyday bronzer. And then this is the one that I want to look like I've been out in the sun and I've got a nice suntan. Okay. So I'm going to use a Kabuki. So these are great because they're pretty stiff and they really grab a fair amount of product. So I like these. You can also use something like this, which is very similar, not as big. If I want to have more of a specific, like really hit a specific spot, I would say this is ideal. If you want a bigger spot, this is great. I'm actually going to start with this one because we're going to do the more like everyday bronzer to start off with. So by the way, I do want to talk for a second about contour and bronzer and where you put each one and what's the difference. Does that sound like a good thing to talk about?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so this is a contour. So this is, sorry, maybe I should open it so you can see it better. So this is a bunch of different shades in here, but I use this one for me. Ooh,
Those look creamy. Are they creamy?
Yeah, these are creams. Creamy contour. I also have contour in a powder form, but I just grabbed this one. So either or you can use. So, and then these other ones on here are highlights. Like this is a great highlight for darker skin. This one too, this is more for my skin color. So I'm just going to take that and I'll show you where you put it. Basically you do contour. If you're going to do contour and bronzer, contour is meant to just give you more shape, right? Bronzer's meant has a different purpose, similar but different in that it warms up the skin. So the color of contour is kind of gray. because it's just meant to look like you have more indentation, right? When if you look at the color difference, right? The contour is really gray and this is a lot more red. So you would do contour right beneath your, now I have a pretty thin face, so I don't use a whole heck of a lot of this, but underneath your cheekbone, bronzer goes slightly above that because you're kind of going right on your cheekbone, right? And you can bring it down a little bit if you want. Now, then you say, well, where do you put blush, right? Because it's a lot going on over there. And sometimes I do use all three. And I would say blush would go right beneath your eye. Now, I also, if somebody has really thin face, I'll pull the blush all the way down just to give them some color. A thin face, or they don't have a lot of facial color, you know, because sometimes as we get older, we get really washed out. And so then I'll play a lot more with blush when it comes to that. But okay, so with contour, I have a lovely age spot over here. We love our age spots. I call them lovely because I earn them, right? I've earned that sucker. So I'm just putting this a little bit underneath, and then I just blend it in and work with it.
And you're doing that first before you put on the bronzer.
Yeah, I did this first.
Excuse me.
You can see the difference, right? And what that did. Can you see
Question?
that, Anna?
Yeah, question. I was told that if you want to also do, I like to do contour, you can put some of the contour stuff down here
Sure.
so you get shadow.
Absolutely. So, you know, we all get a little droopy right here. So I would take the contour and just run it right on your jawbone. Now, the trick is though, you got to blend it. Otherwise you look, again, we're going back to the crazy idea, right? You look insane. So you kind of have to put it on and then really work with it to get that line so it doesn't look like dirt. You can also use contour to contour your nose. Like say you want your nose to look thinner. I mean, you see this all the time with celebrities. They take a brush kind of like this one, right? Just kind of flat-headed brush, and they'll take their contour, and what they do is they go right from here. You take it all the way down your nose till about there. So you're just darkening this section up on both sides. And then you take either a sponge, most of them take a sponge, or you take your finger and you just tap that in so that it's more blended through here. I mean, I've looked at some celebrities, I'm like, okay, you have way overdone the nose, but you know, they want that really thin chiseled nose look, right? Which I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get all the obsessions, but yeah, I should get it, you know, in this industry. In any case, but that's how you use that. And again, there you can use it. Now, I also sometimes can take your bronzer, which I will do, and use it because right here, we're all whiter. Like, see how much whiter I am here? And that's because the sun doesn't hit there. So I'll take my bronzer and really go crazy right in there just to really get that. So that it's not, I don't get that white blotchy bit right there. So, all right. So then I've got the contour, right? And now I'm going to take some bronzer. I'm going to use this brush because it's a little bit more narrow and specific, and I'm going to coat it with product. And I'm going to touch it on my hand a little bit because you don't want clumpiness. That's like one of the worst things. You put it on, you got this big old blotch, like we were talking, Linda. So, and I'm going to put that slightly above my contour. I'm going to take it over my cheekbone a bit. I like to take contour. I just colored my hair, so I've got some blotches from that. And I just bring it all the way down. You can also do this with contour, actually, is really bring it down. One of the biggest culprits when it comes to using your bronzer like this is J.Lo. So if you look at her, at least half her forehead is bronzer. I even think she might use a couple shades darker foundation. That's how much she does there. And then she pulls it all the way. Like whoever does her makeup is brilliant, but like they really darken her up. So you can do that if you want. I mean, you know, I have a good, nice sized forehead, so I can play with that quite a bit, but you see how much that warmed up my skin? And then I can go down here. And that, you know, I can use it here as well. So you see the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is very specifically placing it, right? I'm being very specific. You can use it over your eye like you do, Donna. That's fine too. But see, that really popped my cheekbone. Yeah. And if you want to really have like just really big old cheekbones, right? Then you can take the contour, do more of this. Like it's all in how much you do, you know, put some highlight on your cheekbone. I mean, could really go crazy, right? Just depends on you. All right, so let's do the other half. So I've got my kabuki and my same bronzer here, and I'm just going to fill the kabuki. So I'm just getting that.
Did you already do the contour on that side?
Yeah, so we're going to do on this side, but this is going to be much more like I've been out in the sun all day kind of a look. This is more like this is what I would do almost every day, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So now I'm going to take off a little extra because we don't want to look cloppy. And then I just kind of like work that into the skin so that you really get more of a quantity, right? Over your eye. And I pull it through here because when you get the sun, you get it, you know what I mean? That's where you get it. Pull it down here. You could even pull it, like if you have a big difference in skin color, then you could actually take this all the way down and put a little bit more down your face. So you can see, like I've really warmed that up a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, makes a big difference. And you can do that with this. Now, the way I've used this one is I put it all over my face. And then you can put foundation on top of it. You can mix it in with your foundation. That's the other bonus of this. You know, it's pretty flexible. It darkens up your foundation. Like, you know, sometimes during the summer, your foundation is like, you know, 12 shades too light, right? Once you get some tan. So I think mixing this with your foundation can be really awesome. So big plus there, and then just put it everywhere. And the parts that you want to darken even more, you can use your powder bronzer. I mean, you can definitely work with these things a lot. Yeah. But you know, you can see the two different ways. Like this one's just a softer, much more distinct. This is like, okay, I was out in the sun the whole day.
So with bronzer, I think with powder, it's easier to not put too much on. How do you not put too much on with a liquid?
You know, let me just put a little bit of this on since we're talking about that. I think it's easy to overdo it with anything. So you just got to get your consistency down. I like to put this on with my hands rather than a brush because brushes can really get product into your skin, right? When I'm not sure the quantities I want to use, your hand is the next best thing. It really is. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and we're just going to put this, I'm just going to lightly put this all over my skin. And my skin's pretty hydrated right now. So this is going to blend really easily. You know, anytime your skin is dry, things will stick and they won't blend. I'm going to look really crazy here because I'm going to do half my face.
Do you put a moisturizer on before you put that on?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, you won't be able to blend it in. It'll just look so weird. Yeah. So there. So you can see a lovely suntan.
Oh, so, okay.
This looks a little bit reddish on me for whatever reason. And then what I do, honestly, after I do that, you can go and do a little bit of concealer on top of it and just leave it at the base, right? So if I wanted to do a little bit of concealer, this is amazing concealer, by the way. I really love this stuff. It's like my favorite.
Who makes it?
Amazing Concealer. That's the name of the brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they just set beautifully on older women. I mean, I deal with a lot of older women in my business. So, and then you can just take that and start working on highlights and lowlights because bronzer, it just, you know, it's like a flat, it can flatten you, right? Like this, it's just all one color. So if you add a little bit of concealer, it's just going to add some dimension there. Like see that, what that did? How much that just brightened that right up. So
you're putting it on the upper lid or the lower lid? I'm sorry.
My concealer, I'm doing it on my underneath my eye, and I do a little bit on my lids just because I don't have oily lids. If you have oily lids, you kind of can't get away with that. But I don't have oily lids, so yeah, there you go. See, now you can see I've got a little bit more space around my eyes. It's kind of opened it up a little bit. So I would start with this as a base and then work from that, right? If you don't want to use a foundation, and then do your concealer, do everything else on top of it. Yeah. What do you guys think? Any questions? Or have I dumbfounded you?
No. See, my biggest thing is, you know, you look in the mirror and you think it looks great. And then you get out into the sun or whatever, and you get into the car and you're like, oh my gosh, like, yeah. How do you, because my biggest thing is putting too much on. Cause like I said, I kind of just do all over my face and I, you know, do the whole thing. And sometimes it's just is way too much. How do I
Right.
do that at home? Is there a certain mirror? I mean, light, like what can I do to make sure it's not too
I would
much?
say do it right by an open by a window, then so you can see, or if you, because in the bathrooms, a lot of times the lighting in the bathroom is either, depends on the light, but sometimes it can be very, very yellow or it can be way too blue. So you're just, the color correction you got to do is intense, right? So I have a ring light that is color corrected to daylight. So when I put it on, I'm seeing what I would see in the daylight. But if I didn't have this, I would stand by an open window and that works brilliantly. So I would say do that. That way you can tell, like, wow, I look really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do have a ring light, so maybe I'll bring that in and use that too.
Yeah, as long as it's daylight, because not every ring light, they have different settings. So just check your daylight. Daylight is 4,200 Kelvin. So if it has like a spinner on it, that's what you're looking for is 4,200 Kelvin in order to
Okay.
get like the right daylight. Look like I put too much on my forehead. You can really see the difference. It's kind of funny. Anyway, yeah. But I look really sun-kissed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we were going to go through blush. Do you guys have any questions? Should I move into blush?
Yes.
I'm good. Yeah.
Move into blush. Okay. All right. So I'm going to grab, how about we just do a little bit of like a bronzy blush? Does that sound good? Since we're sticking with the bronzer thing here.
Yeah.
So this is one of my makeup palettes that I have. So I think I'm going to use this one at the top here. All right, and then I've got my little blush brush. I'm just going to put it right on the top here and bring it down slightly. I like it brought down just a little bit on me because my face is thin and I feel like it helps to kind of have a little bit more on my apple. For people with round faces, I think if you put it more on the outside, it's really flattering.
You don't put it on top of the bronzer, you put it above it.
Put it above it. I mean, they're all kind of mushed together, right? Like you want it to be pretty seamless so that you can't see, oh, there's your, you know what I mean? And if you pay attention on some photographs, especially on Instagram, or people who aren't super experienced, you can really see the difference, right? You can see those 3 different layers. But if you blend it well together, if you take your kabuki brush, clean it off, and then just really be sure that that's blended, it can look really flattering and give you some nice layering there for that. But let's see how much that brought like a nice warmth to my cheekbone.
Mhm.
It's good.
This is kind of off topic. What's the best way to wash the brushes?
Shampoo. Just hair shampoo and then let them dry flat. And some of them, like I have to use soap, like body soap to break down some of the creams. Like if you use a brush for anything creamy, whether it's your foundation or a concealer or a lipstick, I mean, I use them, because I make other people up. So I'm constantly using creams. I have to use regular soap to get that to break down on the brush. But that's fine. It doesn't ruin them. I've had my brushes, some of these for like 25, 30 years and they've lasted. I mean, they're loved, but they're lasted. So you can make them last, for a long period of time. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think, Anna? Do you have any questions?
No, I think you've hit all the questions that I had in the back of my head and some that I didn't even know that I had.
Yeah, there you go.
And are you out east somewhere? You said Star Market. So are you in the Boston area?
Oh yeah, I'm in the Boston area.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you have some good summer, some good summer sun.
That's the good news. It's also the bad news because I'm 76, so I try and keep out of that sun for my face. I always have a hat on or have something on so that my face doesn't get touched.
Yeah, good for you. That's very smart. Yeah, I do too. I've got my whole stack of hats and, my sunblock and everything else. But I like to get a little sun on my body. I do. I like a little bit of sun. So
20 years from now, you're not going to want to do that.
yeah,
Okay.
I know. I use sunblock pretty well, but I think a little bit of skin color is okay, but
yeah.
But not here.
No,
not here. Yeah. Whoops.
No,
because
this
you're running to,
Go ahead.
because you start as soon as you hit your 70s, sometimes earlier, you start hitting the crepey effect. And so the
Oh, okay.
last thing you want to do is have any sun there,
Oh, wow.
you know.
Yeah.
Whoever comes up with the solution, it'll be in a laboratory. Some mad scientist for the crepey skin will be a billionaire within 1 week and move over Bill Gates. I mean, he's going to have some change. Okay, within 1 week, a billionaire.
You know, I just had a line send me a product for a crepey neck. I'll show it to you. I haven't
Oh,
tried
I need that.
So I need to do some research on it. That's why I haven't tried it. This is called Tight Eye and this is called Tight Neck. And the brand, I think that's the brand, is Tight Neck. Oh no, it's called Science Serum. That's the brand. Helps to tighten and firm skin while improving skin tone. So I want to try, but first I have to research one of the ingredients. I don't know what it is. So that's kind of got me a little bit concerned. So yeah. And then I'm going to do a product review on it on my YouTube channel. So, you know, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and then you could be updated when I upload this. Because if that works, that'd be brilliant, right?
I think you're going to have to do some gene splicing and something more sophisticated than that. But that's okay for now. If that's the best
Yeah.
we've got, it's the best we've got.
I mean, that's exactly right. And there's another product called Crepe Erase. Have you seen Crepe Erase?
No.
So that's I actually was in the trials for that. I went in and was a part of the trials, and then they wanted me to go on camera and talk about it. And I couldn't because they was unpaid. And I was like, look, I can't take 2 days and fly to LA if unpaid. But in any case, I thought it was a pretty good product actually. And there's a famous actress who is their spokesperson. She's English. I can't remember her name. Anyway, so that might be something to look into, is Crepe Erase.
Did they also deal with, if you look at your knees, you have, I call it the elephant knees, the elephant skin knees, okay? Have you run into anything for your elephant skin knees?
That I haven't, can't speak to that, sorry.
Oh, okay, because if you look at the old lady's knees, I mean, elephants move over.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
giving you a preview of coming attraction, ladies.
Well,
Thanks, Ann.
my skirts are getting lower. I gotta say, the older I get, the more I'm like, that needs to go down another inch. So yeah.
Yeah, with
You
you.
definitely can't do the minis or the shorter skirts as you get older. It just doesn't work.
So I'm looking at Crepe Erase, and 10 ounces is $79, but 7.5 ounces is only $30. Why is that?
Do they have the spokesperson there? I just can't think of
I'm just
the
on
name.
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know why, because one's ultra hydrating body lotion, the other one's the intense body repair treatment. That's the more expensive one.
Yeah.
I can look it up to see who the spokesperson is.
I mean, I could too here.
Crepe Erase. So I'm going to stop the recording and then we can keep going. So I just wanted to thank you, Suzanne, the beauty shaman, for joining us on Single Life today. This was, as always, so informative. And if you're watching this and you want to see more of Suzanne, you can go to thebeautyshaman.com.
Beautyshaman.com.
And then your YouTube channel is
The Beauty Shaman.
Okay, so definitely check her out. She's got some good stuff. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.